All right, I talk about email marketing a heck of a lot on the show, mainly because, of course, AWeber are my wonderful sponsors, and there's a reason for that. There's a reason that I've been working with AWeber for so very, very long, and it's because I believe that email marketing is the ultimate way, even to this day, to build a relationship with your listeners, because it's the only way that people can reply to you. So if you're not using email marketing, you are missing a trick, and that is what we're going to be talking about here in some depth. Now, I decided to do this show just because, people come back to me and they say, look, I've signed up to AWeber, they've been great with the onboarding, they're helping me out with everything, but okay, now what do I do next? Like, why should I be using email marketing? In particular, how as a podcaster should I be using email marketing? So that's why I'm doing this. This is not an extended advert for AWeber. You guys know that AWeber sponsors the show. You can get 30 days free over at markasquith.com/AWeber. But ultimately, this is a deeper dive into email marketing, a bit of a kind of high level overview as well of why I think it's important for relationship building. So, of course, this is the Podcast Accelerator. We're still here in the Millennium Biltmore Hotel for Podcast Movement Evolutions. We are talking Captivate.fm, the world's only growth-oriented podcast host. A heck of a lot in our meetings. Had a heck of a lot of meetings yesterday here at Podcast Movement Evolutions. Today is a little bit quieter, but we've got a few interesting ones this afternoon right after my talk at 12 p.m. where I'm talking about how to build more genuine listeners using listener acquisition flow and the podcast discoverability triangle. So we are going to be talking about those concepts here at Podcast Movement Evolutions in LA. If you're around, stop by, come and say hello. We'll grab a drink, grab some lunch, whatever you fancy. I'll be around, all right? You'll spot me in the Rebel Based Media t-shirt, which is inimitable. I'm sure you'll be able to spot that. Go and check us out. It's going to be some fun. Stop by and like I said, we'll just catch up. Now, we are going to talk email marketing. So, what's the deal? Why do I keep going on about this? Why do I even have AWeber as a sponsor? Well, first of all, it's not about really, I'm going to be completely straight with you. The Podcast Accelerator is not my main revenue stream at all. Getting a sponsor for the show is not something that honestly is that big a priority, because Captivate.fm, Rebel Based Media, we've got Productivity, we've got podcast websites, we've got the Podcast Success Academy. These are all things that are revenue streams for Rebel Based Media. The Accelerator, this show here, is something that I truly enjoy doing and I believe in. And when I was working with AWeber back in the day, and we kind of brokered the deal for the sponsorship, it was basically founded on the notion that, look, podcasters will be building email marketing options. They will be building email into their flow, into their funnel. And I would rather work with someone that makes that easy and that has the same brand values that I've got. And that really came about due to relationship. And this is the real core essence of email marketing. And when I'm talking email marketing here, what I'm talking about is the ability to ask your listeners to do something where, if you listen about the listener acquisition flow that I talk about, moving someone from being a subscriber to your show to being a fan of your show, that is all about connection. That is all about moving them through by giving them some other level of access to you. And the easiest way to start that interaction, the easiest way to build that relationship, to give them that access, is to ask them, just reply to this email, because it's anonymous enough to be safe and comfortable, but it's personal enough to know that you're probably going to get a reply. Like, if you get a reply, it's from the person. Like, it's rarely as a podcaster that you've got a VA doing your emails. More often than not, it's the podcaster replying. And sure, it might take a little bit of time to get a reply, but more often than not, it's going to be the podcaster replying. So that is why I think email marketing, if you think email relationships kind of get placed at the top of the funnel, this is just marketing speak, but, the top of the funnel, real kind of strong relationship building work. But also, ultimately, if you think about it, you develop further, you become a podcaster that's got a bigger and bigger audience, and you decide you want to monetize using Patreon. Being able to communicate that via your audience, via email marketing, that is huge, because you've got the ability to get directly into people's inboxes. We know people check their email multiple times a day. There's data out there that shows that we're checking our emails when we're watching TV on a nighttime, Sunday evening. We're doing it over coffee on a Saturday morning. Go and look up the data. It's all there. And the fact of the matter is that, it's a captive audience. Now, sure, you've got to make sure that you've got the right people on your list. It's definitely quality over quantity when it comes to the number of email subscribers you've got. But as a podcaster, what are we trying to do? People aren't downloads, they're people, and a person is a listener. And a listener wants to communicate with this very personal medium and the people that are behind this personal medium, the people that they are fans of. If they can get to the podcast and just get that one reply, that will make their day and they will become loyal fans and advocates of yours. It's inevitable. It is the way that it works. So you are probably, if you're not doing email outreach, if you don't have a way for people to jump on your email list, if you've not got it on your website where people can get on your email list, then you simply aren't maxing out on your audience engagement. You simply are not maxing out on a way to reach your audience and to directly communicate with them. Now, that is vital. If you're missing out on that, you really are leaving opportunity on the table. You're leaving opportunities for monetization, for engagement, for data where you can prove that your audience is engaged, at which point you can start to negotiate fixed price sponsorships because you've got a genuine audience, So even if you just want to cover the costs of your hosting when it comes to podcasting, if that is your only goal with podcasting, to be able to podcast for free because you cover your costs through sponsorships or through Patreon or listener support, whatever, you have to have an email list. You really have to have an email list, all right? And if you're not doing that, if you're wondering how to start, wondering what the heck I'm talking about, all right, just let me know. In fact, just reply to any one of the emails that I get. If you want to get on my email list, go to markasquith.com/grow. Go and get that little 9 unconventional ways to grow your podcast ebook. It's very, very useful, very powerful. markasquith.com/grow. That means you're going to get notifications when I publish a new episode. That means you can reply to me. That means we'll probably get into a conversation. All right? That's how it works. So if you want to see how it works, go and do that. Go and check it out. All right? Now, like I said, it feels like this has been an extended ad for AWeber. I promise you it's really not. It's just because that many people say to me, look, I understand kind of ish email marketing, but I don't see why as a podcaster I need it. Like, I'm not a quote unquote entrepreneur. I'm not selling courses or memberships. I'm not doing any of that stuff. Why do I need it as a podcaster? And the fact of the matter is that it's the only real simple way, the way that's never changing, the way that is not going away anytime soon, the way that is not in question, it's not in flux. It's the way that you can engage with your listeners directly, okay? And that is not going to change. So go and check it out, all right? Go and check your email marketing out. Please, like I said, if you got any questions, hit me up. You can always hit me up. Hit me up on Twitter at Mr. Asquith. Email me, mark@rebelbasemedia.io. Whatever you need, just give me a shout. And thank you for joining me. It's always a pleasure. Go and check out Captivate.fm for your hosting. If you're a podcaster, you want to try something fresh, Captivate.fm is free for 7 days. And until the next time, never forget, the more you expect from yourself, the more you will excel.